AITA for excluding my in-laws from an important family tradition that I only do with my kids.
I am a widow and I don't plan on remarrying ever. My wife passed when my youngest was born. We live in walking distance to where she was buried, and every Christmas Eve we will walk to her grave and put a flower on her tomb. It literally takes 20 minutes at most and is something my kids and I hold dear. When my son married, we all had a conversation and agreed that we will keep it private tradition. My Dill understood and just chilled at the home when we went on our walk. She started to make hot cocoa for when we get back, and now that is a little tradition. The issue is my Sil. My daughter has talked to him and explained that she doesn't want him during the traditions. I thought this was the end of it and I was so wrong. I got a call asking me why I am not family to him and that he needs to go to this tradition. I told him he is family, but this is a private moment.
He called me a jerk and told everyone I excluding him. Now my Dill is in on it and she wants to go. That they are family, so I need to let them go. I told both of them no and they are pissed. My kids are mad at their partners and I am wondering if the family is a jerk for keeping them out. Edit. I talked to Dill and asked if about he honest opinion about the tradition. She was confused and got a different story. She thought her and Sil were being excluded from the gift exchange/ski trip. She is fine with the tradition and enjoys the hot cocoa tradition. I asked if she could rope Sil in on it and she said she will try. This was a misunderstanding, which also explains the confusion from my son. My daughter called me and told me she handled it.
She made it very clear she doesn't want him at the event. I also contacted the rest of my kids and asked their opinion, and all of them are okay with still keeping it with justice. My youngest has the strongest opinion on this. So I just kinda solved itself, though I haven't heard my daughter that pissed off in a while.
NTA. Maybe the phrasing can be interpreted as kinda mean only family, but goddamn, can't people just have things for themselves?
Your daughter married a knot and his assholery has now infected your previously healthy daughter-in-law. They weren't a part of the experience of losing your wife/their mother that you tragically share with your children. This has nothing to do with anyone but the three of you. That they can't see that is beyond self-absorbed. Is this some kind of macabre FOMO? Seriously, WTF is wrong with them? NTA.
No. What the hell, lol, you're NTA. It is entirely fine that you and your children take 20 minutes to acknowledge your wife's passing/visit her grave. It doesn't mean that you don't consider your Dill or Sil family, it just is a tradition between you and your children, the ones who truly knew your wife and know what it was like to lose their mother.
This is something that you and your kids do. The family is not somehow a separate entity from you and your kids, it's just you. You get to choose how you want to remember your late wife. Sil is an asshole. It's absolutely not his place to insist to be included. If your daughter wanted his support, then that would be a conversation that could be had. But that doesn't seem to be what is going on here. Your daughter actively doesn't want him to come. She wants this to remain a private thing for her, her siblings, and you. That should be the end of the story. Sil has absolutely no reason to want to be included in this act of remembrance. NTA. NTA. I don't understand this. I make sure to participate fully in my husband's family and feel very welcome. I still allow for certain times when my husband just spends time with his parents and siblings. I don't join in on Mother's Day, Father's Day, and even certain casual gatherings. Allowing that nuclear family bonding time without my presence is important, even though they love the hell out of me. I also spend time doing things with my in-laws without my husband. Why in the world would anyone fight for the chance to go visit the grave of someone they don't even know? NTA. These people never met your wife. I don't understand why they aren't respecting their spouse's wishes and allowing you a half hour alone as a family to visit the grave. You are NTA, and I hate for you that people are getting so wound up over something that takes up less than an hour and that you don't want it to evolve into a total goat rodeo. How did your daughter put it to your Sil? Sounds like she might have been less than tactful? Can you suggest that Sil and Dill, and any future grandkids, etc., be part of the hot chocolate making part of the tradition? NTA. I want a private moment with my kids and their deceased mom on Christmas. I would show them this post so the world can see what we think of them. I think they are selfish. NTA. I'm married to someone who lost a parent at a young age as well. Whenever things come up concerning the deceased parent, which did a fair amount when we were wedding planning, I defer to my husband and respect his opinion. If he wants me there, I go and stand by his side in support. If he doesn't, that's his choice and right. Your Sil is the if for no other reason. Your daughter told him she didn't want him to join and he didn't respect that. NTA. When my Mill was buried, she wanted only immediate, related family there. I didn't go. Sil didn't go, but Bill was, as the kids say, butthurt and tossed a stinker of a fit about it and went anyway. We all hate him to this day. I wish his wife, her daughter, had had the balls to tell him to stay home. But she doesn't have much intestinal fortitude in general. Stick to your guns. This is a lousy hill for them to die on. Please pardon the pun. NTA. I'm deeply troubled by whatever is wrong with your Sil that he thinks he's entitled to be part of a very deeply intimate, decades-long tradition honoring the grief of someone he never met. However, he sounds like he's latching onto this loophole about the word family. Sure, yeah, he is family. But this is not a family tradition, it's your wife's tradition. It's her husband and her children who take part in this. Is your Sil your wife's child? No. Who knows? Maybe he's just insecure and hurt that he doesn't feel like he's considered family. But if he's still mad after explaining that this is a very different definition of family, this would be considered a big red flag. I've lost immediate family members. And so has my So. To be honest, I really can't put myself in the shoes of Op or the Sil, Dill. I can't imagine demanding to come on a grief walk of someone I haven't met. I'd go along without hesitation if my So asked me, but I'm very content to not go. But I also can't imagine excluding my So if they decided they really wanted to come along to lay flowers at my loved one's grave. Why would everyone not be welcome there? Really don't see how having someone tag along takes away from the experience. I don't want to rule Esh, because I wouldn't say anyone particularly sucks. But you're all being weird as heck about this. I suspect there's some larger family dynamics at play here, and this is about more than just a 20-minute walk to lay some flowers. NTA. These people didn't know your wife. It's crazy that people can't let their So do things without them. Even when family is involved, or they get butt hurt and feel left out. NTA. The tradition started before they even knew your kids and it honors a person that they have never met. They can butt out for 20 minutes. Some other commenters have asked about adding the grandkids when they come around. Too. Well, now it's a circus instead of this solemn thing. I think they are interpreting this as being excluded from being real family. And to be honest, sometimes things like this make me roll my eyes because it is almost like people are making themselves more important or elevating the event via exclusion. Like, do you think your wife would have liked knowing that visiting her grave was causing problem in her children's marriages? But I'm taking you at your word that having your children's closest family, their spouses, present to put flowers on your wife's grave would be an imposition and that your kids agree. I suppose that exclusion will apply to any grandchildren as well? Ultimately, I'd take yourself out of the equation. This is between your kids and their spouses. If they don't find it a comfort to have their wife or husband present while they honor their mom, that's their choice. If they were in favor of including and you of excluding, I'd have said you should let them do what they need to be comfortable. So I don't see why you should have to take the heat for their preference. It's only re-emphasizing the idea that you three are a unit that excludes their spouses. Which is no good since I don't think that's what you are trying to do. NTA.
Do your children want their spouses to come?
NTAIT is a beautiful tradition. It is a shame that this drama was added to it. I hope things go back to being in peace within the family. Happy holidays. We have a similar tradition, where we light a candle on my mom and grandparents' grave, on Christmas Eve, but we include everyone, in-laws, stepchildren and grandchildren. Do you really think your children will want to exclude their children when they have them? And are you sure your kids still agree that their spouse should be excluded? They may have changed their minds. I suspect there has been many conversations with their spouses that end with, "I want you there. But we do it this way because of Dad." I'm not saying you're the but it sounds like it's time to expand the tradition to include the people in your kids' lives. The ones that matter as much to them as your late wife mattered to you. I'd ask why they want to go. Their being stroppy over not being included seems just silly and a bit childish. NTA. However, traditions do change. Also, what about grandchildren? I can see you wishing to include them in the future. I personally don't understand why your Sil or Bill would want to visit your wife's grave. But you may need to reconsider how this very sweet moment plays out going forward.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.